one definition of a crucible is usually a ceramic or a metal container that's used to heat objects, melt objects, generally with the purpose of creating like an alloy, right? So mixing two things that generally wouldn't mix. But there's another definition. So another definition is a situation of severe trial or in which different elements interact to create something new. So crucibles are basically tests. They're trials. They're trial by fire, technically, is what it is. So the idea of that it's different elements that are interacting to create something new. So we think about what's going on in the COVID times. It's a perfect definition of a crucible. It's a perfect example of a crucible because not only is this a severe trial, because all of us have had to deal with so much stuff as a result of the quarantines, the forced shutdowns, the adjustments that have had to be made, but also because there's so many different elements that have been interacting. So if we think about some of the elements that have come together in a very marked way, we see, well, we have the health aspect of things. We have the social aspect of things. We have the economic. There has been such an increase in just general levels of stress and anxiety that have also created these very interesting stress points in terms of our societal structure. A lot of underlying tensions have been brought to the surface. So a lot of things have changed as a result of COVID. So one way I like to think about it is almost like what goes on in the process of a caterpillar entering a chrysalis. Right? So when that happens, we're in a period of isolation. And when a caterpillar goes in and then it emerges as a beautiful monarch butterfly or some other flying creature, their view of the world changes. Right? So when we're in this situation, we are looking at, as we exit from our chrysalis, we're looking at the world, and it's going to be a different world. And the question that we have to ask ourselves is, the reason that the world appears different, is it because that the world has changed or that we've changed? And me, I like to think it's a combination of the two, because the world is constantly changing. And this is an opportunity for us to either look at this period of time as a period of isolation or a period of metamorphosis. Right? Metamorphosis has a great connotation. Right? So we think about this, we're growing, we're changing, we're evolving, as opposed to isolation is where we're just stuck in this place and maybe to wither and die. So we want to think about these times as a time where there's great change that is going to occur. And one of those ways that we think about change now is this concept of the new normal. How many people hate the term new normal? Yes. All right. Well, yeah, it's definitely gotten overplayed. But here's the thing. The problem that most people have about a concept of new normal is because they don't like change. They don't want things to change. And normal sometimes gets confused with familiarity. Okay? That's really what we're fighting against. It's not against a new standard. It's just we don't want to let go of the old standard. But here's the truth. The old normal really wasn't working all that well for most of us. Okay? When you think about it, the number of people that are suffering from stress and anxiety pre-COVID, okay, the number of people that were unemployed, the disenfranchised, the homeless, yet normal does not work for everybody. So when we think about a new normal, that's actually a very exciting concept. Okay? So just because something's familiar doesn't mean that it's good. Okay? And just because it's comfortable doesn't mean that it's right. So when we think about embracing the new normal, this is embracing a mindset that change is inevitable, change is the only constant in the universe, and that this new reset that we have in front of us is an opportunity for us to create a much better environment for ourselves and for others.